Hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome back, Fireside fam. Yes, we are going to talk about our 3 most recent ILUS updates, but before we do, hit that subscribe button because I have a ton of guests coming on in the next couple weeks. And speaking of guests, the CEO of AITX, Steve Reinhardt, will be joining me live next Wednesday at 8 p.m. This is going to be a fun one. AITX has quite the cult following. I know it's pretty funny to say that, coming from an ILUS boy. But seriously, there are 31,000 followers on the twits of stock. And with that comes an army of bulls, bears, lovers, and haters. But seriously, this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be great. We're going to discuss everything from business plans, shareholder concerns, as well as AI and robotics, something that I really enjoy learning about. I don't know, it just fascinates me. But I'm going to save that conversation for next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you tune in. All right, and don't forget, give that notifications bell a little slap and pickle. All right, it's a Beer Fest reference. One of my favorite movies. If you haven't watched it and you like comedies, check out Beer Fest. So, all right, let's get into it. The most recent ILUS news, and there is a lot of it. All right, let's look at this tweet from JP Backwell. New week, new opportunity in the Middle East. Hot and dusty, but well worth it. Have a great week, all. Let's take a look at some of these pictures. Some people in the Discord posted that this is not the Quality International site, which leads us to believe that this is a new site, and they are working on a new acquisition as well. So, let's take a look through here. There are some really good investigators on that ILUS Discord, and they zoom in and they find out all these little pieces of information. They sort of put the puzzle together. So shout out to the ILUS Discord. You guys have been doing this for more than 2 years now, so keep on rocking. It is a great place if you're looking to invest in ILUS and you want to hold this company long. This is the place to go. Get to that ILUS Discord. I'll put the link in the description. I'm actually going to put the link to every single one of these sources in the description. Here's another picture. All right, and there is JP, the man, the myth, the legend, working his ass off in the heat with the team there. So that is the tweet, the infamous Monday tweet that was sent out. Let's get into the next piece of news. ILUS provides an update on its industrial and emergency response subsidiaries. This was just released yesterday. All right. So I'm just going to, and like I said, I'm going to put all of this in the description so you guys can look through this. I'm just going to skim through this rather quickly. I'm going to start in the second paragraph here. Working closely with the exchange listing team, the ILUS and Qind management teams have made exceptional progress towards finalizing Qind's NYSE American listing application. Given that the process for Qind is running smoothly, ILUS is now focused on ramping up ERT's progress with the objective of uplisting ERT to a major stock exchange along an agreed route at the end of 2023 or early 2024. Yes, it's a timeline. I get it. They get very excited about these things. I'm just going to, in my mind, plan for early 2024, so I'm not disappointed. You know what? And I'm going to pop a couple extra ILUS timeline pills. Whatever. All right. I know, and I'm not making light of timelines, but I've been in this game long enough just to know how things work and know how businesses work. Things don't always go as planned, and there are always bumps in the road, but you got to keep on keeping on. And let's take a look. ILUS is implementing several strategic measures to ensure that ERT can confidently uplist to a major stock exchange along the route agreed with the exchange listing team. These measures include, but are not limited to, let's take a look. Give you a little zoom here. All right. I'm getting all wild here. 1, completing the large U.S. vehicle manufacturing acquisition, which is currently in negotiation. I've covered that before. He mentioned that on the channel. If it's the one that I'm thinking of and the one that he did mention, it has a revenue in 2022 of $60 million in that range. So something to look forward to. Number 2, merging the 2 current ERT companies in the U.S. under ERT North America with the large U.S. acquisition to be added under this umbrella, all led by ERT CEO Dan Peters, former president of Rev Group's Fire Division, NYSE REVG. You could check them out. I've mentioned that, and I've made that connection before, the Dan Peters connection with Rev Fire Group. Number 3, merging the 4 ERT companies in the Middle East under ERT Middle East, managed by a newly appointed general manager reporting to Dan Peters. So they're going to be increasing their management team. Number 4, consolidating all manufacturing outside the U.S. for all products and vehicles from the UK and Dubai to Serbia, leveraging Serbian government incentives in the process. This transition is currently already underway. Number 5, merging the European manufacturing and European acquisition currently in negotiation under the ERT Europe umbrella. So we're going to have ERT North America, we're going to have ERT Middle East, and we are going to have ERT Europe. This is awesome. And just think about this. If this was just one OTC company, this would be some big freaking news. But this is just one leg of the spider, as I like to say. And like I said, these guys are building a conglomerate. And I will pound the table on this just because that's what I do. I love this company. The measures taken will streamline ERT's operations and significantly improve ERT's financials while reducing operational costs by 20 to 25%. Let's take a look at a quote from ILUS Managing Director J.P. Backwell. Now that QIND's progress towards the New York Stock Exchange American has gained momentum of its own, we are aggressively rolling out our ERT strategy in line with its own planned route towards a major stock exchange. Our strategy for uplisting ERT is unique, and we believe it can be delivered within an impressive time frame after the QIND uplist, with QIND also serving as a springboard for ERT. We believe that each subsidiary uplisting should bring significant value to ILUS shareholders as ILUS remains the parent company, reaping the rewards of all subsidiary growth and success. That is what I've been saying since day one, is that, and they really have laid this out clear. They have not wavered in the process that they've laid out at their first shareholder meeting. This is what they planned on doing. They planned on doing spinoffs, and they planned on launching their subsidiaries to NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, increasing the value because they get to consolidate those financials to ILUS. And that's what this whole process is going to be. That's what this is all about. There's a lot to be excited about here. I'm going to be covering this even more now that this news is rolling out, and I'm going to be doing a little digging into some of the possible acquisitions. All right, let's talk about eRaptor. ILUS is in the process of moving Firebug's current manufacturing to Serbia in a phased process, which will see all Firebug products and vehicles sold outside the U.S. manufactured in a facility alongside the already agreed eRaptor electric utility vehicle facility in Kragujevac. Now, I did cover this in a previous video, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put all of this in the description so you guys could read through this article. There is a quote here from Nick Link. I want to close with this. And, well, actually, I'm not going to close with anything because we're actually going to dive right into this. This news just came out literally an hour ago, and it was brought to me by a friend. Brad, shout out to you. Thanks for sending me that link. And so this was like the added bonus of today, the bonus ILUS news, Hyperion. But let's look at this link first let's look at this link. Let's look at this quote from Nick Link. Then we'll look at the link. How about that? We believe it is important to keep our shareholders updated on our progress and strategy as we continually assess, align, and pivot if needed based on macroeconomic and geopolitical factors. Working with the exchange listing team, we are now more capable and confident to deliver our clear strategy for the uplisting of both QIND and ERT, with other subsidiaries to follow thereafter. But it is just as important that we streamline and simplify our operations to reduce operating costs and position ourselves to win large contracts, such as the large ERT and Hyperion defense contracts we are currently bidding for in the Middle East and Europe. And that was the Nick Link quote. And let's get over to that news of Hyperion today. ILUS defense subsidiary Hyperion Defense Solutions signs exclusive global distribution agreement for revolutionary IED detection technology. All right, so right here it says Hyperion Defense Solution has entered an agreement with Tioga Design Services and Tioga Limited to be the sole worldwide distributor of their innovative suite and improvised explosive device detectors, also known as the Super Broom. All right, IEDs are responsible for approximately 50% of total military deaths and continue to be a major cause of civilian deaths in conflict zones. Moving on here, let's look at a quote from Tim Gray, the director of Hyperion Defense. We are delighted to take on the marketing and distribution of this world-class counter IED. It is a game changer and offers explosive ordnance disposal and search teams an unparalleled level of confidence in detecting IED triggers and devices, coupled with an extremely low training burden. All right, and this is key right here. Hyperion is already pursuing significant contracts in 2 nations for the Super Broom and will continue to market the suite of devices around the world for deployment in both military and civilian explosive ordnance disposal teams, as well as for surveillance purposes. All right, let's go on here. This is a one-of-a-kind product, all right? The Super Room range of products combines linear junction detectors and metal detectors operating at power levels contingent with the task being performed. All right, and it goes into the history. You guys got to just read through this whole thing. I'm not going to read it to you, but I want to get to the quotes. And by the way, I did meet Tim and Chris at the ILUS shareholder meeting, and I look forward to having them on at some point. So make sure you guys just read through this whole article. Fellow Hyperion director Chris Derbyshire added, "This marks the first Hyperion agreement in this capability area, and it represents the cornerstone of our CIED offering, as any IED must first be detected before it can be dealt with. We will add to our portfolio of world-class CIED products and services over the coming weeks, and we are excited to offer nations the tools and training that will save lives of not only their EOD operators, but any civilian or military personnel being targeted by such devices." This is absolutely amazing for the ILUS conglomerate. Gotta say, very excited about that. Russell Hoyle, chairman of Tioga Limited and Tioga Design Limited, commented, "We are excited by the prospects for this distribution agreement with Hyperion Defense Solutions. Both Tim and Chris have demonstrated a real depth and of understanding about both the market and the product as well as its capabilities, and I'm extremely optimistic for this new partnership." And going on, JP Backwell again, "This is an important first agreement signed by our defense subsidiary, as this most effective CIED technology directly serves the growing demand from military and international organizations. From an ILUS point of view, we are most excited to be delivering our vision, which began with the protection of communities and frontline personnel and has expanded to include the protection of countries and military operators. Although this represents only the first of many deals in 2023 for Hyperion, we are incredibly proud of the work they are doing and the positive impact which ILUS and its shareholders can be involved in as a result. They are clearly building a massive business, and they are just getting started. I have been covering this stock for more than a year and have not wavered at all in my conviction. As a matter of fact, my conviction has only strengthened. We are just in the infancy of this conglomerate in the making, so I can't wait to see the things that are going to continue to be solidified in the long term. So even though much of the work is being done in the desert, they are clearly building this business on stone and not sand. That's all I got. So stay well, stay strong, and remember, there is more that binds us than breaks us. Have a great day. Peace.